where news comes first. This is WECT News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Frances Weller. We're learning more tonight about a story that's getting a lot of attention on WECT.com right now. A teacher charged with child abuse. WECT's Mackenzie Bruns looking into those charges tonight. Mackenzie, this is a teacher in Brunswick County.
That's right, Fran. Kelly Thatcher is a teacher at Town Creek Middle School. However, we're told she's on administrative leave tonight. Both Thatcher and her boyfriend, Michael Mize, were arrested on Tuesday. They are both faced with misdemeanor child abuse, while Mize faces felony charges for allegedly hurting a child. Records from last year allege Thatcher allowed Mize to hold a child down and spit on his face. Then warrants from Wednesday allege Mize hit a child on the face with a closed fist. Brunswick County Schools released a statement on Thatcher's arrest. It says in part, quote, based on information from law enforcement at this time, the alleged incidents did not occur on school property and do not involve Brunswick County school students, end quote. You can read the entire statement right now on your WECT News app. Again, Thatcher is on administrative leave tonight, and the school district says it's working with law enforcement on the investigation. In the newsroom, Mackenzie Bruns, WECT News.